So, when we're planning and we are going out and we're gathering information on the business, the first thing that we need to do is number one, whether we're a consultant or if we're an employee and they want us to build out a network, well, we need to understand the business first before we go anywhere else. And so, if you're thinking about understanding the business, we are talking about what the business does. So, we need to understand, what does a business do? What is their services? What are their products? What problems are they solving? So when we're talking about this, we're talking about their core and strategic competencies. So this is what the business is all about. So you need to understand this first, and I'm also just going to point an arrow at it because I think it's highly important that you understand this point. It doesn't matter if you're a consultant, it doesn't matter if you're an employee. Before you build out that network, you need to understand what the business does because you're going to need this to determine the business requirements. So let's go ahead and let's determine how we can do this. How can we determine understanding the business and understanding what it does? Well, there's some key processes that you're going to want to do. And these is that you want to perform the following. You want to perform a business process analysis, a business impact analysis, and key stakeholder interviews. So why are we doing all this? So why are we doing a business process analysis? Well, we need to understand what the business processes are, and this gets down to understanding what the business does. So when you analyze the processes of the business, for example, maybe you're a manufacturing business. Well, you need to go in, you need to interview people, you need to go ahead and look at the business, and you need to determine what are their key processes. So we need to understand what these processes are. And then we also need to do a business impact analysis. So we need to determine what's more important and what's the least important. So once we understand what these business processes are, we're going to look at them and we're going to prioritize them from the most important to the least important. So for example, for a manufacturing business, one of the most important processes is going to be the actual manufacturing. Well, what's one of the least important processes? Well, maybe that is something to do with their HR processes, or maybe it is a marketing process, or maybe it's something as simple as a purchasing process. Now, it's not to say that these aren't important, but we have to rank them from most important to least important. And so we're going to determine what they are, and then we're going to do a business impact analysis to rank them and to find out which ones are the most important. And so how are we going to do this? Well, it's very simple. We have to interview employees. We have to interview key stakeholders in the business and organization throughout the different departments to determine what the key business processes are and determine which ones are the most important. So that's the process of understanding the business, and we need to understand what we need to do to determine what the business core strategic competencies are and their key business processes are when we're doing this initial planning process.